Hello everybody, it's hobbitsizz and welcome to another Legends of Runterra video. So in today's video, doing things a little bit differently, no gameplay or deck for y'all today, but instead I'll just be briefly going over my thoughts on ZILEAN. So you've probably seen, if you watch other YouTubers or seen on Reddit, ZILEAN has been revealed today, so I'll quickly go over what ZILEAN does. Basically, he's a 2-mana, 1/4. Play, create 4 time bombs in your deck, and then predict. Time bombs are these fancy little landmarks right here that have a countdown of 1. When I'm summoned, draw 1, advance other allied time bombs 1 round, countdown, deal 1 to enemies and the enemy nexus. So it's basically like what does 1 damage to everything? Like an ice shard kind of thing that doesn't hit your own stuff. We have leveled up ZILEAN. Round start, create a fleeting copy of each non-fleeting card I saw you play last round. So if you play a lot of little cards, you will continue to get those little cards back, at least for 1 round. And play, obviously, his time bomb effect. Soothsayer, when I'm summoned, 2 mana, 1/4. When I'm summoned, grant allied champions and landmarks spell shield. So allied champions and landmarks. We got Scrying Sands, 1 mana burst speed, give enemy -2 and predict. -2 this round, and then it predicts, and then ZILEAN's Chrono Shift, which gives an allied champion the next time I die this round, fully heal me, and give me +3/+3. Woo. Now that we got that intros for the cards out of the way, let's talk about what I think about them. So let's just go down in order. ZILEAN. So ZILEAN, being that he has a low stat line, 1/4. You know, it's respectable though, right? Because he's an engine, you don't want to attack with him, he's there to give you value. And because he needs to see the time bombs go off, so it's important to keep ZILEAN alive to see the time bombs go off, because his leveled up effect is very strong and gives you a lot more presence than you would normally have. I can see ZILEAN in more like a mid-range, definitely not like a combo deck. It's probably like a mid-range kind of deck, something that has a slow start, because ZILEAN himself is like a slower card, right? A slow start kind of ramps up into the mid-game and then runs out of steam by turn like 9 or 10 and needs to some way to get steam back, and ZILEAN's level up would be a good way to do that, just off the cuff. ZILEAN himself, I can see maybe like with ZILEAN Twisted Fate, and you have the card that gets rid of fleeting, stress testing. Use stress testing, so like you play a bunch of cards, right? Maybe in like even like a plunder deck. So you have ZILEAN, you have Twisted Fate, maybe you plunder a bunch of cards, and you play a whole bunch of cards, and then next turn you get them all back as fleeting, and then you can stress testing, and now they're all not fleeting, which means you can play all of the cards. Sorry for hitting my mic. You can play all of the cards again, and then ZILEAN will get them fleeting again next turn. So with stress testing, you could potentially get like an extra value set for the cards that you have. So I'm seeing potentials with ZILEAN and a stress testing. Oh, that's not Twisted Fate. My bad. Stress testings and Piltover. I just assumed, because the only place I've ever seen stress testing is like Twisted Fate Fizz. ZILEAN's and Piltover. So ignore what I said about plunder, but the same thing still applies, right? You can play them like maybe with Ezreal, right? And you can go like a ZILEAN Ezreal control deck where you just try to burst people down with Ezreal, and then you can stress testing and get all the spells back next turn to then go and do more burst damage. Actually, you could use ZILEAN in like a burst combo deck. You don't even need Ezreal, right? You have ZILEAN on the board, he's leveled up. You play like your 2 Mystic Shots and say a, what's that card? Boop, 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 boop. And a Get Excited, right? So 2 Mystic Shots and Get Excited, let's say that's like 7 damage. And then ZILEAN's effect gets you all of those back, so you have another 7 damage. But you can play stress testing, so you can play all of those, you get that 7 damage, and then in your next turn, you also get those 3 cards back to get another 7 damage. So yeah, it's like a 3-turn kill, but it is still like a literal 3-turn clock that your opponent can't do much about, except for killing ZILEAN, interacting with the spells, but that'd be pretty neat. I think you could definitely push it farther than like 2 Mystic Shots and to Get Excited, right? If you're saving up and get like, say, 3 Mystic Shots, or like 3 Mystic Shots Aftershock, or like Get Excited, Mystic Shot Aftershock, some combination of just like straight burn spells. So that'd be something neat, obviously with all the value engines that he normally provides. Second thing I'm thinking for ZILEAN, go hard. You play ZILEAN, you get him leveled up, you play a bunch of go hard spells, right? Like 2 to 3 of, if you can bench 3, that'd be great, but let's say you play like 2, right? And then ZILEAN levels up, and now you get to play 2 more the next turn, in addition to whatever you're going to draw. You can, with ZILEAN on the board, you can really easily guarantee a pack your bags, multiple pack your bags even. And Shurima already is pretty good with Go Hard because of all the predict cards. and ZILEAN already predicts, so you'll be getting go hards like mad. So the only thing is you need a lot of draw, but once you get a lot of, so you just build your deck with a lot of draw, a lot of predict, and go hard, and your entire thing is just go hard, 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 and then ZILEAN pops out, and then ZILEAN gives you all the go hards back to go hard, go hard, go hard, go hard. It'd be pretty neat. Time Bomb. I like Time Bomb. It's a good effect. It's a nice little control effect. Potential damage for your opponent. I'm wondering if it works with, like, Dreadway to make it do 2 damage to everything. Or maybe, like, Kegs. If I don't know, because we never had a landmark effect that, like, I don't think that people mainstream tried to interact with, like, Kegs and stuff like that. We had that landmark one, the Howling, the Abyss one that does 2 damage to everything. But with Time Bomb, like, if you play Time Bomb in a Keg, does it activate the Keg and do 2 damage? Or if, like, the Piltover card that gives everything +1 damage, does that work to landmarks? Something to try out. Moving on, we got Soothsayer. So Soothsayer, I think this card could be ridiculous. When I'm summoned, grant ally champions and landmarks spell shield. So, I mean, immediately Mono Shurima sticks out. Mono Shurima, you know, you have, like, say you have Azir, you have Renekton, and you want to get the Ascendant call on them. You have Azir, Renekton, turn 5, you play Soothsayer. Boom. Most likely by turn 5, they probably won't be able to kill your champions if you're playing conservatively. You play Soothsayer, and now what are they going to do? Everything has spell shield. Your Sundisk has spell shield, your Azir has spell shield, your Renekton has spell shield, and it's really easy now for you to get, for you to win. If you have, like, an Ascendant card, or even just keeping them alive to activate Sundisk. So really neat thing there. Outside of that, she's kind of awkward, right? So when you take Soothsayer, she's basically a slow speed spell shield. The thing that's really good about Bastion, the +1/+1 is alright, but Bastion is really good because it is a burst speed spell shield, so you can use a reaction to things. Soothsayer, you can't really use it in reaction. Also, your opponent gets a turn to react. So think of it like a Moonglow, like a Celestial Moonglow, the 2-mana spell shield card. I think that's a fair comparison. Most of the time you're using Moonglow on champions anyway. And the +2 health is nice, but it's really mostly about that spell shield. So if Soothsayer, you're thinking of it like that, the difference is you don't have to tech in Moonglow, right? You don't have to actually deck it. You can choose other options. So having to deck in Soothsayer, will it be worth it? I think it will if you're playing things like Mono Shurima, or if you get like Malphite, and Malphite comes out, and then you can give Spell Shield to Malphite. I think it's really cool. The whole giving Landmark Spell Shield thing, I think she'll be great in Landmark decks. Any Landmark deck that anything that your win condition revolves around very late turn Landmarks. Like, even a Frozen Thrall deck, and you have a Frozen Thrall, your opponent's not going to remove it unless it gets to like 1 or 2 turns away. And then you Soothsayer, and they can't remove it anymore without spending a ton of mana for it and resources. So, will it see play in every deck? No. But in a certain few decks, it will be insanely powerful. Scrying Sands, 1 mana burst speed, predict, give an enemy -2/0 this round. It's okay. It's okay. I will say, predict, great for Kahiri War Mother deck. Fantastic. Once this expansion drops, first thing, maybe not first thing, but one of the first things, new upgraded Kahiri War Mother deck. So many predicts. It'll be even better than it was before. Watch out. But as far as Scrying Sands go, predict is nice. Burst speed, I think of it like a worse Elixir of Iron. Okay, predict might be, I don't know if predict's worth 1 mana on its own because it's not really attached to much, right? So in some cases it's a better Elixir of Iron because it in certain situations it has the same effect, such as combat, but it also gives you predict. But in a lot of situations it's just strictly worse, right? Giving enemy -2 attack is oftentimes just worse than giving your own thing +2 health, because Elixir of Iron helps counter like damage spells, and say if your opponent's unit had like, I guess, yeah, so mostly it's like the damage spell thing that really changes it up. So if you're in combat with a unit that has like 3 attack and your unit has 3 health and you want to preserve that, yeah, Scrying Sands works the same as Elixir of Iron, but against burn damage spells it doesn't. ZILEAN's Chrono Shift. So ZILEAN's Chrono Shift, neat card. The only application that I can really think of it, which be, so I can think of like 2 applications, right? Maybe you can use it in like a War Mother's deck, and you can have like a super Undying Tryndamere. I just think that, not War Mother's, Feel the Rush deck, and you can have like a super Undying Tryndamere, because again, they go to kill Tryndamere, and you're like, nope, or they like hush Tryndamere and go to kill him, and you're like, haha, not so fast, ZILEAN's Chrono Shift. Which would be pretty funny and pretty troll. But seriously, Mono Shurima, or Mono Fiora Shurima. This is killer. Like, I think this card will absolutely replace the Unbreakable Spirit. Unbreakable Spirit is an 8 mana fast speed spell that makes your units not be able to die. But this is a 7 mana burst speed that gives it +3/+3, and then it, after it dies. But the main thing with like Unbreakable Spirit, the most annoying thing with it now that like you really have to think about more so, is like throwing Fiora into places you need that 8 mana, but you only have to use that 8 mana reactively because you can't just toss it on anymore. ZILEAN's Chrono Shift is like a better version of that, because if they go to like Vengeance your Fiora, boom, Chrono Shift. And they can't deny the Chrono Shift. See, that's also a big thing with Unbreakable Spirit, is that it's fast speed, so it's deniable. And with Shurima now, right, you can deny the Unbreakable Spirit, you can Rite of Negation the Unbreakable Spirit, you can interact with Fiora after they play Unbreakable Spirit. But with ZILEAN's Chrono Shift, they can't. It's first speed. It just, boom, it happens. So I think this actually might bring Fiora Shurima back. And that's it. That's all for this video. I'm just talking about the new ZILEAN cards. I'll talk about probably new Malphite stuff when that comes out, because Malphite's awesome. Did I mention I like Malphite? I really like Malphite. Anyway, that's going to do it. All right, have a good day, everyone. Peace.